Chapter 2 is on paraphrasing strategies. Mainly, the strategies that are often referred to by teachers and instructors are three. I am going to focus on the first one, as I have said earlier. We have the RAP strategy, the para strategy, and the 4 R's strategy. RAP is the one that I am going to focus on. So let's see what it means and how it is done. RAP actually is an acronym for 3 words, 3 main activities that you need to do in order to do good paraphrasing. R is for read, A is for ask, and P is for put. And here we come up with the acronym RAP. We will go now into each stage and see how we do that successfully in order to achieve our goal, which is paraphrasing. Now, in step number 1, which is the R or the read, of course you know how to read, but we need to perform certain strategies of reading that are going to help us reach, as I said, the target of paraphrasing well. So let's look at those reading strategies. Read loudly, clearly, and slowly the passage that you have chosen. Of course, you know that when we read something aloud, it's better than when you read it silently. It involves 2 senses at the same time, and that will mean better understanding. Also read clearly so your brain can decode what you are reading, and read slowly because you are aiming at comprehension. Step 2 is, as you read, pause and voice out loudly your thoughts. That is to say, stop and try to recall the main idea in the part that you have just read. Next, focus on unfamiliar words within the passage, their meanings, synonyms, the context they were used in. So this third step focuses mainly on language. Here you will focus on the meaning of words. The ones you know will be easy for you, but the ones that are new or unfamiliar need you to focus on. Think about their meaning, guess, do some sort of guessing, try to think of synonyms, and at the same time try to see the meaning they give in the context, in the passage that is your reading matter. The following step would be to break up the reading to simpler portions, like a paragraph, a stanza, or a section. Definitely you know that when you break something into parts or pieces or smaller portions, it is easier to understand and to focus on the meanings and the details rather than try to figure out the meaning in a whole page or a whole article. Finally, in order to do the reading well, you need to think of a general summarization of your understanding regarding the content. That is to say, you need to ask yourself, what are the main points in this part? Which is going to lead you to the next step, which is asking yourself the questions. So this is going to be the first step that will involve the second stage of doing RAP, which is asking yourself questions. So think of a general summarization of your understanding. You will tell yourself, okay, I read this paragraph and it talks about this and that. So this is the R of RAP. Next step. The A is for ask, and this is step number 2. And this is where you need to form some sort of interior dialogue with yourself and ask yourself questions about the meanings and the details and the ideas in the passage you have read. So you need to ask yourself questions. These questions should be able to help you identify 2 things: main ideas and key details of the section you have read. Now, what's the difference between main ideas and key details? For those of you who are unfamiliar with these terms, the main ideas are the central themes or the main subtopics in the paragraph or the reading passage, and the key details are the information. They are not as big as the main ideas or the topics, but they are details given to help the original writer explain the idea well. So you need to focus on 2 things: the main ideas and the key details. So ask yourself these questions. What is this paragraph about? What is the central theme of this paragraph? What are the key points in this paragraph? Only if needed, reread the passage to find the details. If you find that you fail to answer these questions or you don't answer them fully, then go back to the passage and reread it. There's no harm in doing that. On the contrary, if you do this stage well, that would mean you won't have any problems when you come to writing your ideas. So, when you figure out the main points, you need to write them down based on memory. This is an important point, and I will come back to it later. The last point I would like to explain on this slide is that the aim of this step is to recall facts. You could have written them, and actually you will be writing them, but it is very important that you try to remember and recall the details. Step 3 in wrap is the P, which is put. And this is the familiar phrase that I told you last time you'll be hearing, and when your instructors correct your work, they will always say, put it in your own words. Try to rephrase or put it in your own words or restate it in your own language. So this is put. Put the information in your own words after you have identified all the main ideas and key details of the reading material. Reframe them in your own words, and as I said, from memory. Think of synonyms for the important words and when framing your sentences. Ensure that it is clear, using correct grammar, and has the same meaning as the content read aloud. This is again very important. You are going to think of another way of stating the author's main points and details using your own language, but that language has to be clear, it has to have correct grammar, and it has to give definitely the same meaning as the content read aloud. Read out. Write one main idea and its supporting details. There are many different ways the sentence can be framed, and the same person can write one idea in maybe 3, 4, 5 different ways. So how about all of us trying to write a sentence or a paragraph in a different way? And we practice this, and I've got some very good feedback from you on the example that we have started it with last week, which is I like apples. And you have seen, if you look at the wall, you will see the contribution of your fellow learners, and you will see the different ways in which the same sentence can be expressed. Repeat this step with the rest of the reading material. So with the end of this step, we come to the summary of what RAP strategy is all about.